Hello, students. Welcome back once again to your YouTube channel. I had promised you that I would bring your videos on Julius Caesar in quick succession. So here I am once again with the explanation of Act 2, Scene 1. And let me remind you that I have been following this particular edition of Julius Caesar, the Oxford edition, edited by Roma Gill. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Yes. As far as I remember, we had stopped at line number 160 of Act 2, Scene 1, where Cassius, you know, had put forward his view that they should also go ahead and kill Antony along with Caesar. So we had stopped there. We will begin from line number 162. In my book, it is page 28 with Brutus's speech. All right. So yes, here we are with Brutus's speech. But before I begin, you know what's coming up next? Yes. If you like this video and you feel these videos are helpful for you, to score marks in your exams, do not forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It shall keep me motivated. All right. Now, I was checking this analytics part in my YouTube studio, and I could see that I'm getting a lot of viewers to my video. However, they're watching the video and they're not liking the video. So I really do not know why they are doing that. Is there anything on which I can improve on? Please let me know so in the comment section so that I can work on that part why you're not liking my video. All right. So whatever it is, please let me know what is keeping you away from liking my video. Okay, and I'm surely going to work on that. So yes, without any further delay, let's get back. Brutus's speech. Brutus. Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath in death and envy afterwards. Envy is jealousy. So Brutus says, oh no, no, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't kill Mark Antony because then our course, our plan of action, rather our action will seem too bloody, that we are thirsty for blood. To cut the head off, here head refers to Caesar, and then hack the limbs, that is Antony, like wrath in death and envy afterwards. So if we are killing both Caesar and Antony, it would seem like we have been jealous of them, and that is why we have engaged ourselves in such a bloody action. All right. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. So Antony is actually a limb of Caesar. He, as an individual, does not have any power. He depends on Caesar for everything. That is why Caesar is referred to as the head. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. So let us be sacrificers, the ones who are going to bring about a change in society, a good change in society. Let us be reformers to the society instead of being killers. And we all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. The very spirit of Caesar symbolizes tyranny. That is what Brutus is arguing. Okay, the spirit of Caesar stands for tyranny, and we are against that particular spirit of Caesar. We are not against Caesar, the human being. We are against the Caesar who is a tyrant, who is a monarch, who is a dictator. All right. And in the spirit of men, we all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men, there is no blood. Oh, then that we could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. So, even Brutus is lamenting that if we could reform Caesar without shedding his blood, we would be the happiest. But since that cannot be done, Caesar has to shed blood. That, in other words, Caesar has to die to, you know, give away his tyranny. So be it. We will have to take up that course. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, look at the irony here. He's referring to all the conspirators as gentle. On the contrary, these conspirators are going to be the most ungentle, the most unsophisticated people. Let's kill him boldly, with resolute, but not wrathfully, but not in a heinous manner. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods. So let us sacrifice him. Let us be reformers and not killers. Not hew him as a carcass. Carcass is a dead body fit for the hounds. Hounds are hunting dogs. So let's kill him gracefully, with respect, the kind of offerings we do before our gods as sacrifice, and not just go and murder him and throw him away without respect. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servant to an act of rage, and after them seem to chide them. Very important. What does he say? We would behave like those masters. Which masters? Masters who would, incite or instigate their servants to do something wrong. And only when the servants do something wrong will they go and reprimand them. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? In the first place itself, the masters will give a lot of indulgence to the servants so that they make mistakes. And then they will go and, you know, reprimand the servants that why did you do this? So Brutus is saying we should behave like those masters. We should give a lot of indulgence to Caesar to show his tyranny. And the moment he becomes a tyrant, we will go and murder him. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious, which so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. So, only when we do this will the entire Rome get to see that yes, Caesar is a tyrant, he is behaving tyrannically. And only then we will go and murder Caesar. So, what will happen? Entire Romans will believe that we have been the sacrifice. We are being the reformers. We did not murder Caesar out of our own personal grievances. Okay, great political move. And you see, in Act 3, Scene 1, we will see how the conspirators will deliberately, provoke Caesar to become arrogant. And Caesar, by this time, the entire Rome knows has become the monarch, even though he has not taken up the crown directly. Okay, so in front of entire Rome in the capital, these people would incite him to become arrogant, and the Romans will see an arrogant Caesar. It is only then that these conspirators will go to murder Caesar. All right. So the plan of action is that. And for Mark Antony, think not him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arms when Caesar's head is off. So do not worry about Mark Antony, because he, as an individual, cannot do anything as and when Caesar is gone. This is, you see, Brutus's first major mistake in the play. He lacks the far-sightedness which Cassius has. Cassius, you know, remember Caesar was telling that he does not like Cassius. Because why? Cassius has that far-sightedness. He's politically much more aware and conscious of things. So Cassius was right when he's telling that we should murder Antony. From political perspective, not from moral perspective, I'm talking about, my dear students. However, what we see here is Brutus is being very wrong in his estimation of Antony. He undermines Antony's ability and feels that he's not going to be a threat, which is the first major problem with Brutus. And the second mistake which Brutus commits, we will see that with the progress of the play, that Brutus allows Mark Antony to give a funeral speech, which is another great mistake. So these two mistakes are going to cost him a lot. All right. So we see here Brutus lacks farsightedness, Brutus lacks prudence, the political prudence that is needed here, as opposed to Cassius. Cassius, yet I fear him. You're saying, Brutus, that we should leave him, but then I'm really worried because for in the ingrafted love he bears to Caesar, he has immense deep rooted love towards Caesar. And I'm really afraid, Brutus, if Antony is let loose, I do not know what's going to happen. Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. So, this is Brutus's overconfidence. Do not think of him. For if he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to make himself take thought and die for Caesar. All that he is capable of doing is keep thinking about Caesar and die. And that were much he should, for he is given to sports, wildness, and much company. But then he's not going to do that because he's already indulging himself into sports, wildness, and good company. Okay, so he has a life of his own, so he's not going to interfere in all these matters. He's not going to think about all these matters. So, Cassius, I'm telling you, do not be worried of Antony. So, Brutus is undermining Antony's ability. Trebonius. There is no fear in him, let him not die. Trebonius also feels that way, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter. Let him live, he's not going to be a threat. And the clock strikes. Brutus, peace, count the clock. So listen, the clock is ticking, so count how many times it is ticking. Okay, accordingly, we'll calculate the time. By the way, this is a figure of speech. By now, you all have learned a lot of figures of speech. You'll have learned your simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration. But this is something very new, my dear children. This is called anachronism. Anachronism. Anachronism, what is it? I'll give you an example. See, here you understand this. Count the clock, he's saying. 44 BC Rome, Caesar's time, there was no way you could count the clock. The striking of the clock, that device was not there. You would measure the time by either seeing the stars or by those sand stand kind of a thing from where the sand would drop and you would calculate the time. That was the general belief. So there was no pendulum clock in 44 BC Rome. So this is going ahead of time. So this figure of speech is called anachronism because pendulum clocks is a modern invention. Okay. I'll give you another example. Suppose you remember the time when Caesar was in Spain, he had fever. Suppose uh, you see Caesar had fever and he is taking Calpol 650. How would it be? Not possible. because scalpel 650 was not available in those days. It was all the Ayurvedic medicines and herbal medicines. So, again, going ahead of time. So, that is anachronism. Hmm. I hope I have been able to explain you. Cassius, the clock had striken 3, so it's 3 o'clock. Cassius, Trebonius says, it's time to depart. Let us leave now. Cassius, but it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or not. It is extremely debatable whether Caesar is going to come to the capital or not tonight because the sky has been extremely rough. The weather has been extremely unruly. Along with that, Cassius tells why. For he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he held once, of fantasy of dreams and ceremonies. So, Cassius is reporting that Caesar of late has become extremely superstitious. He was not like this before. And he is believing in fantasy, dreams, and ceremonies, which was not the case with Caesar ever. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurs, augurs are priests, may hold him from coming to the capital. So, what are the things that is going to happen? Apparent prodigies, number one. Number two, unaccustomed terror of the night. Number three, persuasion of his priests. So these are the three things that will prevent Caesar from coming to the capital. When Cassius is telling, it may be these apparent prodigies, the strange things that have happened. What are the strange things that have happened? Remember in Act 1, Scene 3, it was reported that someone's hand was burning in fire, a kitten, then other strange sights had been seen. Act 1, Scene 3, line 15 onwards, you see. Act 1, Scene 3, line 15. Yes. 20 torches joined, and yet his hand not sensible of fire remain unscorched. Besides, I have not, since I put up my sword against the Capitol, I met a lion who gazed upon me and went slowly by without annoying me. So all these strange sights have really worried Caesar. And the third thing, the persuasion of his augurs, that is, requests and pleadings of his priests, might prevent Caesar from reporting to the capital the next day. So Decius says, never fear that, if he be so resolved, I can oversway him. Oh, don't worry. If he is being too resolute that he's not going to come to the capital, I am going to take up the responsibility on me to bring him to the capital. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. So he loves to hear all kind of flattering things. He loves to believe that unicorns are there with the trees. Unicorns can be defeated with the trees, bears with glasses, elephants with holes. So all the fantastical, wondrous things he loves to hear. And when we tell him that men are most fooled by flatterers, he says he does not like flatterers. Caesar, that is. All right. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. But the irony is that Caesar himself gets flattered. So Decius Brutus knows the weakness of Caesar. He says Caesar is extremely gullible. He can be manipulated. He can be deceived easily. And I am going to do that if need be. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent. I can manipulate him well, and I will bring him to the capital. Now, will all of us be there to fetch him? Why only you? All of us would be there to bring him. By the eighth hour, is that the uttermost? So we'll meet at 8 o'clock in the morning. By that, the uttermost, and fail then not. So let us resolute that we will meet then and we will not fail each other, and we are going to meet exactly at 8. Be that the uttermost and fail not then. So be sure that we are going to meet at that particular time and we are not going to be late. All right, we stop at line number 214 today. The scene I told you is going to be pretty long. Okay, so in another video, I hope I will be able to complete the scene. Don't worry, the video is going to come up very soon. I know your exams are knocking at the door. So, one more video and the scene will be over, my dear children. Do not worry. All right. So, I hope I've been lucid enough with the explanation. If you like the video, do not forget to give me a like and share it with your friends. They might also get benefited. And also, do not forget to write in the comment section the areas where I need to work on, because I see most of you people are watching my videos but are not liking or subscribing to my channel. So, if you let me know the areas where I should work on, it shall help me really to grow. All right. So, see you in the next video. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Goodbye.